Hi guys, I'm back and we're out for another walk. I don't know if you can tell behind me, but there is some storm of ruin. So I thought I would try to get out here before whatever that is falls upon us. And for today's video, I wanted to talk about a topic that I personally talk a lot about and is really a core of why I do the work I do. But I've been seeing it sort of being brought up more, and I thought I would start the conversation on my end here. And I promise you, this is just the start. I have lots to say about this topic. Ooh, it's loud here. We're kind of close to the highway. Yeah, we'll keep on here. This is a good path. Anyways, the topic is ageism. And in a very simple definition, ageism is when we use somebody's age or the number of years they've been on the planet as a reason or justification to that person's value, ability, or right to be in a space. All right? And I know right off the top, we're all probably saying, well, we know that's not right. We know that's wrong. But we all really enact ageism in many areas of our own personal life and towards ourselves. And it is very deeply ingrained into how our culture is created, how our society is run. So at the core of ageism, and really at the core of any ism, any kind of systemic bias, is the belief that there is this idealized, optimized norm, and that we're all here to become as close to this norm as possible. And so in our culture, in our society where I am, that norm is very clearly white, straight, able-bodied male, probably about the age of 30, 35. That's demographics. So the closer you are to those demographics, to that, the more accessible the world around you will be, and the more the culture will be created for you and to understand you and to express you. Now, this doesn't mean that white, straight, 30, 35-year-old able-bodied males don't have challenges. But what it does mean is the further you get from any one of those demographic points, the more challenges you could have, the less accessible the world around you can become, and the less the culture that you live in will be created to show yourself back to you or to value you. So, you can really talk about any one of those demographic points. You could talk about able-bodied. You could talk about gender. You could talk about race. But I want to talk about age. So let's say this idealized person that we all kind of function against. We sort of use this, and I think it's super unconscious, but we use this idealized person and we weigh everything against that idealized self or that idealized person. And so when it comes to age, the further away you get from this sort of 30-year-old male, the less accessible the world becomes. The less culture sees you as valuable and having something to contribute. The less you become considered in what is created within that culture. Whether that's literally the buildings that are made, but also the culture, the way we relate to each other, the way the society is integrated and running and sharing or not sharing. Sorry, I ended up in a beautiful part of the forest. Just looking around. But see, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so why I wanted to bring this up today, this is just sort of, to me, the foundational way of understanding ageism, is that as we go through our days, to start to really look at everything we're doing, everything we're interacting with, and asking ourselves, who is this meant for? Or, in what way does this building, if you walk into a building, in what way does this job description, in what way does this relationship privilege or is built around an idealized age or time in someone's life? Because there really is no idealized age or time, right? In someone's life, we have this conception, but what we're really talking about isn't whether someone is the right age, but whether someone has the skills or the capacity that we're looking for to enter into whatever we're talking about. And so that's one thing I wish for us, is to stop using the number to define anything. And start to really look at, what is it we're looking for from a person? What is the characters, the quality, the values that we're looking for from a person? And can we find that in any age? Sorry, it's lovely and peaceful here. Yeah. And so really, I just wanted to start the conversation because I'm seeing a lot more talk about ageism out there. But for me, from the years I've worked with this thought, with these ideas, it's quite off the top, right? It's often about look. It's often about physicality, which is a part of the conversation for sure. But it goes so much deeper than that. It goes into how we construct our work environments, how we construct our homes, how we construct our relationships, how we construct our streets and our cities, our transportation. Yoga is not immune to this at all either. We look at yoga, and yoga comes with these asanas, these postures that we now presume again have this idealized self that looks a certain way, can put their bodies in a specific position, a specific position, and hold it for a certain amount of time. That we can breathe in all these different ways, that we can enact these yoga principles in a very specific idea, a very specific way. And what I found working through yoga and working with older people in yoga is none of that matters. That ultimately it isn't about the physicality, it isn't even about the capacity, it is about the intention. It is about, why are we putting our bodies in that position? What is it we're trying to achieve? And can I achieve it? Letting my body be what it is, letting myself be who I am. And of course you can. The underlying principles of all the practices of yoga are accessible to everyone. No matter your age, your physical capacity, your gender, your skin color, your ethnic background, your religion. So that was a little bit of a rant again. But what I ask actually is that you go forward after this video and just start to look around yourself and look in yourself at the ways in which you might be holding yourself and your world around you to this idealized image of a person. And who is that person to you? And who's missing out? Or what are you missing out on by holding yourself to this ideal person, this optimized person? Yeah. So I could really go on and on and on. And I will record more about this topic. But that's the core underlying idea to me. Is that age and ageism really is just functioning from a misconception of some optimized person that we are all trying to work towards. And the further you get from that optimized idea, supposedly, the less able you are, the less value you have, the less accessibility you have. But that does not have to be true. Because very few of us are actually that idealized person. And so don't we want to create space, environment, communities, and experiences that allow for all of these varieties of gender, varieties of bodies, varieties of ages, varieties of backgrounds and beliefs to come and be together. And it's not ideal. It's not an idealized version either. It's messy. It's sometimes painful. But it's deeply enriching. It's the web of support I think we're all looking for. And I know as we age, it truly can make the experience of growing older one that feels expansive, feels safe, and feels connected. So as I come down to the water's edge here today, I'm gonna say goodbye. And thank you for listening to me rant. I obviously had something to get off my chest. Yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye.